Listen, students, good morning. We were discussing about analytical paragraphs. So let's just continue. Let's see the information first. Writing composition we are doing, and in that we are doing analytical paragraph, and this is lecture number 2. So let's just continue. Why it is? Because it carries 5 marks, and you are not supposed to pay much heed on this. You just need to analyze the questions given like paragraph or diagram or chart or like anything that you have to analyze, and then you need to answer the question. So I taught you some of the points, some of the facts in the last lecture. In this lecture, we'll discuss that how to organize the body of the paragraph. The first you got the introduction. Now we are at the body. When you just need to frame the body of the paragraph. So how do you frame the body of the paragraph, children? You just need to be a bit careful so that you can manage the things in a proper way. The body can be broken into 2 or 3 sub paragraphs depending on the information extracted from the graph. Now see, जो भी chart, graph, diagram आपको दिया होगा, based on that उसको लेकर के आपको जो है मेंशन करनी है चीजें, और उस पैराग्राफ को आप सब पैराग्राफ्स में डिवाइड कर सकते हो. 2 or 3 paragraphs you can make to make it a bit interesting or understandable for the reader so that you can gain good marks in that, right? So सब पैराग्राफ्स में आप बॉडी को ऑर्गेनाइज कर लोगे, कट कर लोगे, डिवाइड कर दोगे. उसके बाद क्या करते हैं, ब्रेकिंग द बॉडी इनटू सब पैराग्राफ्स मेक इट इजी फॉर द रीडर टू अंडरस्टैंड. अब उसको जब आप डिवाइड करते हो तो कैसे करते हो? You see, this first one is like when you read the paragraph, you just need to organize the information. You should look for the large differences that are very prominent. Prominent means here very important. जो large, जो बड़े difference है, सबसे पहले जब आप chart को देखते हो, diagram को देखते हो, उन सबसे बड़े differences को find out करोगे. You can mention the aspect which is the smallest or the largest in the data given. अब आपको करना क्या है, जो भी डाटा उसके अंदर मेंशन किया गया है, सबसे स्मॉल क्या है और सबसे बड़ा क्या है, the smallest or the largest in the data given. Any aspects that are similar should be mentioned next. और उसके बाद जो similarities है, पहले तो आप जो है देख लो भाई, this is the organization organizing informations from the chart या डायग्राम या टेबल जो भी मिलता है. पहले तो स्मॉलेस्ट और लार्जेस्ट बिग कंपैरिजन को आप लोग जो है जस्टिफाई करोगे एंड उसको प्रेजेंट करोगे. आफ्टर दैट यू विल टॉक अबाउट द सिमिलर स्टेटमेंट्स और सिमिलर डाटा जो भी हमारे चार्ट के अंदर या फिर हमारे टेबल के अंदर होता है, that we just need to analyze and then we need to present in the paragraph. You should be like similar should mentioned next. यानी कि first smallest largest, उसके बाद similar, हम इसको mention करते हैं. You should further mention about the aspects that has remained unchanged or constant throughout. Now you would find उसके बाद आपको क्या करना है, कुछ डाटा आपको ऐसा मिलेगा जो unchanged होगा, remain होगा, that will be constant. Like this, these are the small points which are given to you people while just practicing your analyzing paragraphs. You just are preparing for that. So you need to do one thing. इस तरह से आपको जो है ऑर्गेनाइज करना है इंफॉर्मेशन को. Once again I'm telling you in हिंदी, पहले तो आप सबसे स्मॉल और सबसे बड़े डाटा को लेकर के कंपैरिजन प्रेजेंट करोगे, देन यू टॉक अबाउट द सिमिलर स्टेटमेंट और द डाटा, और उसके बाद आप जो पाते हो दैट्स अ फ्यू थिंग्स आर कांस्टेंट और लाइक रिमेनिंग constant or unchanged, you will present. This is the example only, right? Though it would be a bit different there also, but these are the starting points which are to be kept, right? We do have enough time to practice also. So you just need to see, you'll get the question answers, you just need to prepare them. The next one is comparing information. Now there it comes like you need to just compare how it is. If the chart mentions 2 different parties, for example, you'll see chart के अंदर 2 parties दी गई है, men and women, right? Refer to both of them in the analytical paragraph. अब analytical paragraph when you're going to present, you just need to mention both. दोनों को mention करना है अपनी analytical paragraph के अंदर. If there is any contrast or comparison, you just need to find out, you just need to analyze what is the contrast or comparison in between both the parties in the chart given, right? You must present it effectively. If the chart is about a particular time period or highlights trends of several years, mention each year in a concise manner. Now you see कि अगर चार्ट के अंदर किसी एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीरियड को बताया गया है, तो उस पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीरियड को, उस ट्रेंड को लेकर के आपको क्या करना है, यू नीड टू हाईलाइट दैट, उसको हाईलाइट करना है, टाइम को, ट्रेंड को और ईयर्स को, चीजों को, सबको मेंशन करना है. यू नीड टू मेंशन प्रिसाइसली और कंसाइसली इन योर पैराग्राफ, प्रॉपरली, अच्छे से मेंशन करना है. कंसाइसली मींस if any comparison or contrast can be done for 2 or more years, you should write about it too. और अगर आपको लगता है कि कंपैरिजन 2 या 2 से ज्यादा साल को लेकर के किया जा सकता है, then you should mention it also. These are a few examples which are discussed with you so that you people can understand. Though we'll have a practical session of attempting a question also, right? That will also help you how to put comparison or like how to present the trends if there are basically, right? So this will go with this. The next one is mentioning quantities. When we read in the first lecture, it was mentioned there that you need to mention the quantities also if given there, right? When including numbers and figures, their accuracy must be ensured. Suppose you are going to ensure the numbers or the figures based on the table or chart, you just need to be a bit careful. You need to be very like attentive that you are going to mention the figures or mentioning quantities that must be accurate, right? Because the examiner can tally that from the chart. If the information is found wrong or it is just changed, then you would get less marks. Your marks will be deducted there because you did not analyze or understand the chart or the graph given to you. That shows if you just misinterpret the information there. There are a number of ways that can be used to describe quantities. For example, percentage, fraction, ratios, etc. Right? So many ways are there. So there, these sorts of things we'll discuss when it comes to attempt the practical questions. Right? We'll get there. The next is connecting sentences. If different information or ideas are there, you should use connectors or linking phrases to link them logically. Now you see, you all are basically familiar that when it comes to just answer the questions, you just need to connect the sentences with one another, right? For that, you need to use the linking phrases or connectors. These are very easy, and I have seen you people while writing the story or like letter in the last you wrote there. So that was good. You just need to use this to present in an effective way. The sentences of the paragraph should be sequential and connected rationally. Sequential and connected rationally means not in an unirrational way कि भाई इस तरह से नहीं लिखना है कि सामने वाले को समझ ही ना आए. You just need to do one thing. You need to manage that in a proper order. एक तो proper order में sentences को manage करना है और जो connectors आप उसके अंदर use कर रहे हो, these should be very understandable to the one, basically the one who's reading it. और जो connectors use कर रहे हो उनको properly use करना है. ये नहीं कि हम कुछ और connector use कर रहे हैं जिसकी उसको वहां पर जरूरत भी नहीं है. This is what you need to take care of this. Then after body, you got this. These sorts of things which we discussed were related to the body of the paragraph. Now it comes to the conclusion. The last paragraph should summarize the idea mentioned and the information in general. एक तो जो आइडिया उसके अंदर दिया गया है जिसको लेकर के हमने अभी डिस्कस किया है, राइट, इन द लास्ट, एक तो उसको लेकर के मेंशन करना है और एक जनरल इंफॉर्मेशन को लेकर के चीजों को मेंशन करना है. It should be concluding in nature and act as the closing statement. और इस जब हम इस पैराग्राफ को लिख रहे होंगे लास्ट को, इसके अंदर हमें ये फीलिंग आनी चाहिए that should be felt that we are going to conclude the paragraph. Closing statement होनी चाहिए वो वहाँ पर that we are going to close the paragraph right now. One should keep in mind that one must not include any personal opinions. That's very important, students. Some of the students write their personal opinions which are very wrong, negative in the analytical paragraph. You cannot mention anything on your own. अपने आप कुछ भी चीज मेंशन नहीं करोगे, राइट? conclusions or observations, opinions डालते हैं, conclusions डाल देते हैं, observations डाल देते हैं. No, nothing should be personal, nothing should be based on personal thinking or observations, right? Everything should be based on the facts and the figures. You should simply stick to the facts you got from the chart or the paragraph. You just need to stick to that only. You need not dispose of the information to write a good analytical paragraph. Now you just need, suppose you're writing a good paragraph, or in that you just mention your personal opinion related to any concept or fact, that will get you less marks, that will deduct your marks basically. So you need to be a bit careful that you're going to write the facts only, you're going to stick to the facts. The key is to choose wisely the important information, organize it well, state correct facts, and summarize it properly. What does it mean by कि भाई ultimate key क्या है to get the marks here in the paragraph? एक तो wisely चीजों को important और informations को जो है कलेक्ट करना है, ऑर्गेनाइज इट वेल, पूरी जो इंफॉर्मेशन आपने गेट किया उसको ऑर्गेनाइज करके प्रेजेंट करना है, और स्टेटमेंट्स जो सेंटेंसेस आप वहां पर बना रहे हो उसको लेकर के स्टेटमेंट्स को करेक्ट करना है. फैक्ट्स एंड समराइज इट प्रॉपरली, राइट? यूजफुल टिप्स फॉर राइटिंग एन एनालिटिकल पैराग्राफ. अभी तक तो हम बातें कर रहे थे चिल्ड्रन थियोरेटिकल. नाउ वी आर कमिंग टू द प्रैक्टिस और द प्रैक्टिकल सेशन हियर. अभी तक तो थियोरेटिकल चीजें कि भाई ये मेंशन करना चाहिए, नहीं मेंशन करना चाहिए, ये मेंशन करने से हमारे मार्क्स अप होंगे, डाउन होंगे, डिडक्ट होंगे, ऐड होंगे. नाउ इट इज प्रैक्टिकल सेशन फॉर एन इंट्रोडक्शन, कि हम लोग इंट्रोडक्शन कैसे देते हैं भाई. नाउ यू सी, यू कैन स्टार्ट विद द फॉलोइंग फ्रेजेस. अगर चार्ट दिया तो क्या बोलोगे? द चार्ट गिवन अबाउट डिस्क्राइब्स अबाउट द मेन एंड women, right? The chart given above describes about the people working in the like labor class or in the official class, right? Like this you will present your introduction. The table suggests, the line graph shows, the data given provides information about, right? The pie chart illustrates, etc. So like this you can start your introduction, and further you need to add the information based on the given questions picture basically, right? So that will help you to practice it. Sorry, let's go to next. For describing trends. Now you see, trends को describe करने के लिए आप किस तरह के words को use करते हो. Use phrases and words like इस तरह के words, a pattern of growth. When you find when you find anything related to growth or growing something, so you just can take this phrase, a pattern of growth goes like this, right? Rapidly doubled. If you find there is a much increase, so you can use word rapidly doubled. Skyrocketed or striking increase, right? Peaked. This is the trend basically, when something is increased too much. Soaring rates or declined. Now soaring rates or declined means जब आपको उसको comparison में declining way में उसको present करते हो. Plummeted, leveled off, like this. Stagnated, fluctuate, starting to rise, starting to fall, drop down, slightly, etc. These sorts of words make our language very attractive and effective for the readers, right? It doesn't mean that you just write your paragraph with the simple words. These words will add a particular meaning to your writing. Writing means how you write it, right, everyone? So these words to describe the trends. You can pause and practice when you get the video there. And the next one is for describing quantities. Now see children, how do you describe the quantities? Quantities को आप कैसे describe करते हो? I told you percentage you can take, ratios you can take. Now let's see, what do we get? Use various styles like 48% off, 1/3 off, nearly 1/4 off, almost 80% majority on average, right? Twice as much, almost equal. इतना इस तरह से हम जैसे इसको explain कर सकते हैं when we get the information there. अगर हमें मिलता है कि 80% majority आ चुकी है, then we can present it like this. Almost 80% majority is present in favor of this particular data. whatever is provided there, on average of twice as much as we thought about the data that has doubled rapidly. Like this, we can present the highest or the lowest, very close to 2%, roughly approximately 5% of, just under 3%, etc. Just under 3%, they just constantly remaining there. That's why the other people have margined the double percentage. Like this, you can mention in your paragraph, but that is totally related to the facts and figures provided in the question, right, everyone? Sorry. Now see the next one. For establishing a relationship or contrast, when you talk about the statement they are presented in the graph, you just need to present their relationship or a contrast. Use phrases and words like a relationship between, or like similarly, or like in contrast with, in comparison to, but in the opposite case. These are very specific words which are to be used. When you just start practicing paragraph writing, you'll find these words to be used there. However, whereas when it comes to talk about such type of data, we just need to manage like this. We need to use such words, right? As opposed to, while striking difference, noticeable differences, etc. Like this, children, we just need to manage the things. And the next one is for the conclusion and other connecting phrases. You see conclusion को लिए हम लोग क्या करते हैं, कुछ connectors use करते हैं, कुछ words use करते हैं, कुछ phrases use करते हैं. Use overall हम लगा देते हैं. Subsequently we do use there, in all, use in a nutshell. For the chart given, in short, striking change